This is a video guide on how an athlete will log in and manage their profile and forms for themselves. First, I have logged in. This means that I have either created a profile using my own email address or I have used the Claim Your Profile link that was emailed to me. Once I'm logged in, if I had forms that were on file and I used the Claim Your Profile link, these should show as completed. If I log in and I see all of these are showing as incomplete, that means that I have created a new account. If I'm an athlete that participated last year and I'm pretty certain that I had all of my forms on file, I'm going to send an email to portalsupport@soa.org, and I'm going to have the subject line say something along the lines of, I'm an athlete and I'm not seeing my forms. In the body of the email, I'm going to include my name and my birth date, and I'm going to give a brief description saying something along the lines of, hey, I'm an athlete. I thought I had forms on file. I'm not seeing them in my portal. Could you please help? Send that off to Portal Support. We will then look into it. There could be a duplicate profile that was created. We could have had a different email address. There could have been a different spelling of the email address. Who knows what was going on, but we can look into it. If there was a duplicate profile created and the existing profile had all of the forms on file, once we merge the two profiles, these will all show up as completed. There could be an instance of these being expired, which then the athlete would want to go through and fill them out and complete them again. So let's say I'm an athlete who needs to complete all of these forms. I can click into each form. There is an option for me to manually sign them or sign with eForm. Signing with eForm is all done online. If I want to manually sign it, I will click into this. And there is an option if I'm doing it on my phone or if I'm doing it on the computer. I will have to download the form, and sign it. If there's an option on my computer or my phone that I can sign it on the screen, I can also do that and save it to upload it from there. But I may have to print it to sign it. If I have to print it and sign it, I will also have to scan it and upload it. The e-sign option eliminates all of that and you just do it here on this screen. The athlete release form has two boxes up here that I can either leave blank if these are, or if I don't need to select these, I will leave them blank. And then I will put my name and my signature and the date of signature. One thing I would like to point out for the athletes and any coach or coordinator who is watching this video is the athlete release form includes this consent for personal information. I understand that Special Olympics will be collecting my personal information as part of my participation. This includes my health information and other personally identifying and health-related information. I agree and consent to Special Olympics using my information in order to make sure I'm eligible and can participate safely, provide health treatment if I participate in a health program, and provide other event-related services. This is saying I consent Special Olympics to have access to my health information in the event of an emergency. I would also like to point out for coaches that coaches sign a code of or acknowledge a code of conduct form that states they will keep copies of the medical training and competition records for each athlete I coach. Coaches consent to having access to the medical forms in the event of an emergency. Both of those are consent. The athlete release form can also be done manually or with an e-form, e-sign. Now the medical form It is a series of questions that can take about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes shorter, sometimes a little bit longer, depending on how much information needs to be updated manually. There are a lot of yes/no questions, but there are also options to add additional information. If you are using the existing 5-page athlete registration form that we have used in the past, the questions are similar, but they do not align exactly to this medical form. The questions are in a different flow, so they don't go from the top of the page, top of the physical form to the bottom. So if you're referring to the physical form to answer these questions, you may have to move around a little bit to find the answer. There is not an option to upload forms to the medical form here on the portal. So we're going to start. If you have any associated conditions, if you don't, you can click Save and Continue. If you do, you'll click Add Condition, use the drop down, and select one of these options. If your condition is not listed here, you can click Other, and then type in the condition. And then click Save, and you can keep adding additional conditions if you have more than one. Save and Continue. The mobility devices, if you have any of those are also a drop down. If you have one that's not listed, you can click Other, and you can type what the other is. Save and Continue. Lifestyle aids, this is like a CPAP machine, dentures, or glasses. So you would click Add Lifestyle Aid. I wear glasses, so I'm going to click that. If you don't have, if your lifestyle aid is not listed here, you can click Other, and you can type it. And then if there's additional, you can just keep adding new ones, and then you'll save and continue. Any communication devices. If you don't have any, click Save and Continue. If you do, add a communication device. Again, if it's not one of these, you'll click Other, and you'll type something in place. Do you use any medical devices? VP shunt, pacemaker. There's an option to choose from, or Other, and you can add in the description. Now we're at a few series of yes/no questions. Is there anything you can't eat or drink? If you say no, you can move on. If you say yes, it's going to ask for what you cannot eat or drink. Do you have any other assisted devices or accommodations? If you missed them before, here's an opportunity to add a few more. And then we are almost 30% of the way done. So we'll continue to go through. Here are some questions. If you click yes, there are no drop downs asking additional information. They are just yes, no. I'm going to mark no. These ones are the same as well. If you click yes, there's no drop down to add additional information. Same with these. No additional information, just yes, no. I am running through these questions, these screens a little quickly just to get through the guide. I'm not trying to bypass what the questions are. I'm just showing examples of how to answer them to keep moving forward. Have you had COVID-19? Yes or no, there's no additional drop down. Have you been immunized? Yes or no, there's no additional drop down. Do you have any allergies? If you click no, then it's no. If you click yes, what happens is there is a drop down that has some common allergies. But if you don't see the one that you would like to list, then you can click Other, and you can type in exactly what it is that you're allergic to. Have you ever had surgery? If you click no, then you save and continue. If yes, it does ask for some specifics. This is just to help us be able to provide you with better care if anything happens in the event of an emergency. An abnormal EKG or echo, if you click no, you save and continue. If yes, it does ask for some information. Has a doctor ever limited you from participating in sports? If you click no, you save and continue. If you click yes, it does allow for a description. If at any time in the past you've broken a leg, or they said that you can participate in sports, but not this one sport, or anything in specific that you can add to help make sure that you are kept safe in participation. Save and continue. Epilepsy or seizure, if you click no, save and continue. If yes, you will give us a description of what that is. If you ever broken or fractured a bone or dislocated a joint, no. If you say yes, it does ask for some specifics. Again, this is just so we make sure we have all of the health information necessary to ensure that you are safe and well taken care of in the event of an emergency. Do you have liver disease? Yes, you would need to describe. No, save and continue. Lung disease? Yes, you would need to describe. No, save and continue. Heart disease, again, yes, please specify. No, continue. Do you have any behavioral, mental, sensory issues? If you click no, save and continue. If yes, this could be anything that falls within this category. Depression, anxiety, aggressive behavior, sensitivity to noises or light, anything that would, again, help us be able to provide care to the athlete as best as we can. And here are where we would want any medications or treatments listed. Now, if you add a treatment, there is no drop-down option. You would need to type in whatever it is that the athlete takes, what the dosage is, and how many they take, whether it's daily or weekly. If the athlete does not take any treatments or medications, you can click save and continue. If you see, we are 92% way finished with this medical form. Some athletes do have a lot of treatments and medications to list, so this screen could take a few extra minutes, but it is important in the event of an emergency that the emergency staff knows what the athlete is taking on a regular basis, so they can ensure that that athlete is treated the way that they should be. We'll click save and continue. And now we will review and confirm all of the information that we just answered. So this goes through all the questions. It allows us to make changes if we need to. And then we will submit the form. It does take a minute to load. And then it says, we're done. As the medical form no longer requires a physician's signature, it will automatically be approved once it is completed. From here, the athlete will complete whatever forms need to be completed, and then they are done with what they need to do for registration. The coach will include the athlete's name on their participation roster for the season. And that is how we will indicate that this athlete is participating in that sport for that season with that program. There will be a alert sent out, an email notification about 90 days before these forms are expiring, which will give the athlete the opportunity to renew them. So When it does come time for them to be renewed, it is not something that the athlete needs to try and remember on their own. There will be a notification coming to them that will allow them to do that. Or if they log in, there will be a alert up here that says you have a form expiring in the next 90 days. Please renew it. And then it will give you an option to renew the form. I think that covers it for the athlete use in the portal.